Okay, Paul, so can you just tell us your name, your role, and what that role entails here at Gamescom?
Okay, so my name is Paul Chaloner. Most people know me by ReDeYe, I think, in esports now. My title is Head of Content and Media at ESL, but I mainly work on the TV side of stuff. Jack of all trades, I guess, master of none. I manage the talent in-house at ESL, hiring and managing training and so on. I also hire all the talent for our shows, or major shows that we do around the world, Intel Extreme Masters, ESL One, Gamescom, what have you. And then, I suppose on the side of all of that, I'm a part-time producer, part-time show writer, part-time director, part-time brand manager, part-time PR, part-time social media. So, yeah, a bit of everything.
Okay, great. So, what do you find most challenging about your role? Or your multiple roles?
Yeah, multiple roles. I think it's just challenging overall because you don't get time usually to do one thing really well. So you have to do, you have to do lots of different roles. And so it's in a typical day in the office, I could have James Lampkin come to me and speak to me about ESL One. Hey, what do you think about this? What if we did this on stage? What if we did this kind of show and this format? Then I might have Johannes come to me and speak to me about social media and what do you think about how do we do this and which hashtag do we use and why do we use this one and what about that? And then Michal from IEM might come and say, hey, what do you think about these prize money structures and what about these rules for StarCraft and so on. So, most of it's about giving an opinion, relatively informed from being in esports for a long time, I guess.
So you're sort of like the Yoda wise man in ESL.
I wouldn't say that, no, I wouldn't say I was the wise man, but I get asked for a lot of opinions, and I'm happy to give them where they help. Because we have, I think, 135 people working at ESL now, and many of them have many hats. It's, there's no one person, I think, that has a defined job and that's all they do. It's all hands on deck for big events. So when we come to Gamescom, the challenge for me personally is initially trying to find the right hires, depending on what stages I'm given to look after. So here it's ESL One, it's Battlefield 4, it's Counter-Strike Go. So this year for me actually it's a little less stressful than it was last year. Last year it was well over 20 people hiring, ton of different stages, different games, last minute calls for, hey, can we get a commentator for Tom Clancy? And that was Tuesday before game. Okay, I guess we'll find someone, and we found someone, we hired him, and he did a great job. So, and then things that go wrong. So you end up, you come. It's weeks of preparation, it's weeks of planning and negotiation and what have you for everyone in the company. It's very stressful, super intense, and then you come here and there's almost like a palpable relief that you're like, right, we're here, it's good, okay, we're good, and then it calms down and you think, yeah, we're good, all the planning in the world has made this great, and then things start going wrong and things break and people don't turn up or there's something that changes the schedule, and so you have to be very reactive, unfortunately, at an event this big. And just do the best you can with what you've already got. I mean, we had an issue yesterday with an LED screen which was placed a foot further forward than it should have been. Not a great deal, you wouldn't have thought that was a big issue, but it blocked a walkway which we were going to use for players to walk out on stage. So then you're like, oh, okay, do we change the show or do we move the LED? Yeah. Well, okay, I'll talk to the production guys, and then they were like, it's on a giant truss up there. We'd have to take the front of the stage off, and I'm like, whoa, no, we can't possibly do that right now. So then you look at alternatives. So most of it when you get here is about a mixture of firefighting and finding a good compromise to make sure the shows are great.
Okay. So what's the single most rewarding experience you can have then?
For me personally, it's still commentating or hosting. So I guess the way you could look at it, I mean, a lot of people externally in esports or crowd will look at me and think, oh, he's just a host or he's just a commentator or whatever, and that's fine because that's all they see me doing. But actually, I see that as my reward. It's like that's the nice stuff for me. I can just go off and do that and have some fun and watch games I love and commentate on it or host it, and that's my reward for the other stuff that I do, which is probably like 80% of my job during the regular day. So yeah, definitely the most rewarding is doing that personally, but it's also about delivering a great experience for the crowd and delivering a great event. Katowice for Intel Extreme Masters was just absolutely unbelievable, and then we did Frankfurt in a World Cup stadium for ESL One, and that was absolutely magical. So sometimes you have to do events which aren't as big or aren't as in your control to do what you want to do with them. And I suppose the payoff is that you know that at some point we're going to have another huge event that we have complete control over, and we're able to deliver it in the way that we want.
So can you give us a rundown on just how many people and how many roles are involved in running something like the CSGO tournament here at Gamescom?
Wow. Okay. So overall, ESL, I mean, we run the whole of Hall 9, so it's a big place. I think we have 6 different stages of varying size, so we're all managing all of those. So our production team will come in, build all of those stages from scratch with trusses. Then some of them will then carry on and produce and manage those stages. We have audio technicians, we have producers, we have graphics artists, we have graphics people, we have a team of photographers that are managed, staff for shop, staff for other stands, helpers, interns, uni-grads, all sorts of different people. So I guess, I mean, it's an estimate, but I would think probably 300 to 400 people work for ESL at this event, one event. So it's a huge amount. I mean, I think Katowice, I think we had 500 staff, and they're all important in their own way. You know, whether they're an usher into the audience, or a security guard, or someone that works in catering, or someone who's hired just to drive vans to pick up players from the airport backwards. I mean, there's so many small things involved in running a tournament. You probably wouldn't believe me if I gave you a list of the crew and what they did, because it just seems surreal. You're like, how does it take so many people? But it's because it's a very complex thing. So, yeah, a lot of people.
Great, excellent. That's fantastic, Paul. Thank you very much.